you work in the ER long enough, you start to recognize patterns. I'm not talking about vital signs, I'm talking about EKG rhythms, I'm talking about the full moon. Anytime there's a full moon, things go sideways every single time. Whatever can go wrong, will go wrong. Whatever can't go wrong, still goes wrong. Normal rules don't apply. This shift was straight out of a movie. From naked patients to fighting grandmas to a CT scan revealing a liquor bottle somewhere it should never be. This shift was legendary. I still don't know how we made it out and showed up for our next shift. So sit back, because this is one of the craziest shifts I ever worked. We walk into the ER, the vibe's already off. It's loud, phones ringing, security looks stressed, you got patients arguing. Then there's always that one. You gotta announce it to everybody. Hey, y'all know it's a full moon? We all looked at them and just put our heads down. We know what type of night we was in for. And it did not disappoint. It kicked off right at the front. 2 patients about to square up in front of the triage nurse. And what is she doing? In the middle, like she's about to referee it. Me personally, I was let security and PD deal with it because catching a stray punch, not in my job description. But apparently one of the patients was talking reckless and the other patients jumped in and intervened like, nah, not today. Bro was ready to throw hands for the nurse. A whole fight almost broke out in the ER over a nurse's respect. Low key, shouts out to him. He deserved an extra ginger ale. So I go to my assignment and think, let me go save some lives or whatever. So boom, I go in my first patient room. I caught him and his girlfriend mid-act. Not kissing, not cuddling, not hugging. Actively getting it on. I'm like, hey bro, you good? Bro looked me dead in my eyes and say, do I mind? I'm like, do I mind? I'm like, you know what? If you got this much energy, maybe the ER ain't the move for you tonight. 5 minutes into my shift, I got fired by my first patient. He said he didn't like my attitude. Bet, I grabbed your discharge paperwork on my way out. How you mad at me after I caught you mid-thrust? And make sure you put that in the biohazard bin when you're done. So I go to my second room. It's our favorite frequent flyer. She's there every Tuesday night, drunk and dramatic. But today, she was on one. She wouldn't stay still, she wouldn't stay in bed, she wouldn't let us get vital signs, she's slurring every words. I said, all right, man, I'm gonna give you a second to come back. I'm gonna come back in about 10, 15 minutes. Ended up giving her an extra 5 minutes, went back probably like 20 minutes, and she's slurring even more. I'm like, ma'am, are you having a stroke or are you just drunk? Now, she's been known to drink while she's in it. So we called security to come check her items. Nothing. Purse empty, pockets empty, no flash, nada. So we send her off to CT just to be safe. The tech called me like, I think you're gonna wanna come down and see this. Y'all, I go down there, sis got a whole bottle of liquor in her vagina. Not the mini bottles either. A whole bottle. She had a whole fifth. Sis was playing hide and drink with the hospital policies. Then there's this little old lady, real sweet. Call me baby and honey every other sentence. The only problem is she did not know how to keep her hands to herself. Every time I go in there to do her vital signs, she's reaching for something that's not the blood pressure cuff. Like, ma'am, I don't think this part of the exam is necessary. So I'm in there with gloves on, dodging and weaving, like, ma'am, I'm just trying to get your vital signs and get out of this room alive. So I finally get some time to sit down and chart my assessments. Then I hear some yelling coming from the psych pod. Now, I'm not assigned over there, but I'm nosy. So I go check it out. Big mistake, big entertainment, pure chaos. One kid, probably 5'5", 120 pounds, soaking wet. He's in there surrounded by 6 police officers, and he's in there folding them all. Great Mortal Kombat combos and finishers, throwing them around like rag dolls. One officer in the headlock, one officer getting kicked in his chest. One officer fell, his radio flew across the room like it tapped out, didn't want any. And I go peep in and they're looking at me. I'm like, man, that kid's trained by Walker, Texas Ranger himself. I'm not going in there to get tossed around too. But wait, it gets better. So across the room, another psych patient, which I don't even know why they got this hospital set up this way, where 2 psych patients can just sit and face each other. But anyways, across the other way, the patient, he got up to pee, and he's looking through the windows, and he started to notice what's going on over there. Now he's getting hyped. Beat their ass, bruh. Beat their ass, bruh. The PD sitting there in the chair looking like, please don't. You know what he did? He started swinging. Dude literally got up to pee. Now he's in there beating PD in the head with a urinal. Hopefully it was empty. Now in the third room, yes, it was another fight. Hospital security is trying to remove a patient that refused to leave. And he's in there swinging too. They ducking and dodging. One of them pull out their taser and they tased him. And he got his wish to stay in the hospital. And in the fourth room, nurses and techs are trying to restrain a confused grandma who's trying to rip out her IV and go WWE. Normally I would go in there and help them, but I had my own stuff going on, so I minded my business. So I went back to my stable patient, sweet old lady, real calm. I'm adjusting her in bed. Then I hear yelling, I said don't touch me. I peek out. It's our favorite naked frequent flyer, running down the hallway naked, fully unclothed, not one sock in sight. The hallway's packed with family, kids, grandmas. He didn't care. He just out there swinging anatomy and trauma. I threw myself in front of my patient trying to block her view. She pushed me to the side to get a peek. Oh Lord, that man's naked. I check her blood pressure. Now it's old fuck over goddamn. He almost made grandma stroke out in there. That's probably more action than she saw in years. Now we both needed a break. It's around 2 a.m. and it's just pure survival mode. The ER is so packed. We passing out scratcher like Halloween candy. Everyone is in their own trauma, their own drama. No teamwork. You couldn't get somebody to pass you a flush even if you wanted to. One nurse looked at me and was like, "You good?" I'm like, "Nope." She said, "Same." Kept on walking. I peeked around the corner and another nurse is literally charting with one hand and got somebody grandma in an arm bar with her other hand. I'm like, yeah, we're not okay. That night was like working in a hospital themed Hunger Games, just trying to survive. We had naked patients, fights, groping grandmas, bootleg liquor. But at the end of the night, you don't forget nights like this. You survive. You trauma bond with your coworkers over breakfast and drinks, and you tell the story for the rest of your life. And if you're smart, you don't work the next full moon.